So this is how iDriver works. Okay, you need to download the iDriver exe, put it in the path, create the object, and that's it. Okay, now this is simple object creation and calling the function corresponding to the object. Okay, right. Now if I come back to my friend class, these two are the variables. These are known as non-static variables. Okay, fine. Now suppose you have a variable like say string city. Okay, right. Now if I make this static, okay, if I make this static, what does it mean? Now first of all, if I go to my sample class, over there I had created my friends, right? Two friends, f1 f2, given them names. If I write f1 dot city is say London and f2 dot city is also London, I know that all my friends are from London. Just taking a scenario that all the friends, all the objects which I am going to create, all the friends, the city would be London. So whichever object I create, okay, no matter how many times I am creating the object, the city variable will be there in every object. Okay, city variable will be there in every object. This city variable would be equated to London, but this is a little redundant, right? Okay, I know that city is going to be London, so why do I keep it inside every object? So what we do is that we make the city variable static. In object oriented programming, what static does is static will move this variable out of the objects, keep it somewhere at a common location. City will not be part of the object now. It will be at a common location where it can be accessed by anyone, any object or anything. So city doesn't remain in the object. Okay, it becomes the property of the class. You can write over here, okay, you don't need to initialize the city like this. You need to simply write over here, say friend dot city is equal to London. So for all the objects, for all the everybody, okay, the city would become equal to London. We can take it this way. I cannot access name and phone properties like this. I cannot write friend dot name is equal to some name. I will get an error. Okay, so friend dot city is London. So that is how it works. Fine. Static things are a part of the class, not the object. They can be accessed with the class name. For example, we just saw, we were writing over here in case of Chrome, we were writing system.setProperty. What do you mean by this? System is a class. It's an inbuilt class in Java. When I write dot in front of it, you see all this which comes with a red S on the top. These are static functions or variables inside the class. Set property is a static function. It can be directly called with the class name. Something like in the friend class, if I make a function, say public static, say print city, public static void, and in this function I will just print city. So this function is a static function. So when I call it from the object, I can write over here friend dot print city. I don't need to call it with the object. Similarly, in out here system dot set property. System is a class and set property is a function inside that class. Okay, webdriver dot chrome dot driver, set it to fdrive chrome driver dot exe. Okay, this is how it works. Fine. Anybody with any questions? Okay, this is what static is. Static will be used later on as well. When we work with Selenium, we try to use minimum usage of we try to make minimum uses of static. The reason and all I'll tell you later on. Okay, I'll repeat again. Static things, they can be, if you don't understand, it's very simple. It's the golden rule is whatever you make static, you don't need to create the object to access it. You can directly access it with the name of the class friend.city, friend.printCity. You don't need to create the object. For example, if I talk about Chrome driver, if I write Chrome driver dot, you will see dot class. Hold on, no, not this one. Say Firefox driver. If I write Firefox driver dot, you will see some static properties. Okay, guys, please keep your mic on mute. Fine, there is somebody who's not on mute, right? So Firefox driver dot, you will have static things. So static will be used. Primarily we will be using everything non-static when we work with WebDriver. Okay, right. Now the next question which comes up, right? The next question which comes up in our minds is, if we have a separate driver for every class, I have a Firefox driver, I have Chrome driver, I have iDriver, right? And there are more drivers. For example, I didn't tell you about this one, HTML unit driver. This is something, it's quite interesting. Okay, HTML unit driver, I'll write over here driver dot get, go to the site http bbc.com, and once you are on the page, print the title. Driver dot get title will give you the title of the page. Okay, when I run this code, you will see that it runs and it prints BBC homepage. It didn't open any browser, and it's quite fast. Immediately, within 2 seconds of running, 2 or 3 seconds, it prints BBC homepage. HTML unit driver is something which runs silently. Okay, it send, pardon? I just wrote the command driver.getTitle. This, you don't need to give a URL over there. Driver.getTitle will give you the title of the page. So there you're not giving any URL. Before that we are over here I am giving the URL. The get function will take you to this URL. So if that command is not there, what happens in this situation? Obviously you will not get any title. Okay, the default nothing, right? So driver.getTitle will give you the title of BBC, but this runs silently. It sends a silent request to the server, gets the response, parses the response and all everything. Look, what is a response from a server? It doesn't depend on driver, okay, or the browser. If you go to the page source, right, for any particular website, this page source contains the HTML code. This page source is the response from the server. Every browser parses this page source and presents the content in a very good format to you. Okay, ultimately the server is sending you the page source, right? It doesn't matter on the browser. It sends the like 99.99% of the applications, they send the same kind of page source for all for all the browsers. Fine. Okay, so out here as well, when you fire the HTML unit driver, it gets the page source and it works on the page source. And rather, Selenium works on the page source only. Later on we'll be looking lot of things in the page source. Where is HTML unit driver used? For example, you have to run scripts on Unix based machine where on a Unix shell where there is no UI. Okay, everything is like the command prompt, right? Unix shell is something like this. So you can run on HTML unit driver where you don't have Firefox installed, or you want to run it very quickly. You want to run your scripts very quickly, you use HTML unit driver. It is way faster than others. Alright, fine. Now the question arises that everything has a driver. HTML unit driver, IE driver, Safari driver, Opera driver, Chrome driver, right? Firefox driver. So will you be learning these driver classes separately? If I have to work on Firefox, will my commands and my approach be different than if I have to work on Chrome? Will I have to create these objects separately? What if a single script I have to run on multiple browsers? How will I do that? Okay, right, these are the few questions which should be addressed next before I go on to object identification. So these are addressed through the concepts of interfaces. Okay, and once I am done with interfaces, I'll come over to the object identification part and all everything. Now, what is an interface in Java? Okay, interface is something you can say, for example, it again comes under object oriented programming concepts. Okay, if you have to go and buy a book from a market, what do? You look at the face cover of the book firstly, and you look at the back side, you try to read it, you get to judge that what the book is offering. Or suppose you go to a restaurant to have your dinner, you look at the a la carte menu and you come to know from that what the restaurant is offering, which all dishes is it offering. You don't know ultimately how it's going to be, right? So you don't know how that dish would taste like, but you can read it from the a la carte menu and probably you can guess that fine, this is what I want, so let's order this. So that a la carte menu is like an interface to you which tells you what the restaurant is offering. Or for example, a website like dice.com. This website is offering you these Selenium jobs. Okay, so it's like an interface to you. How the job is going to be like, or what's the actual thing inside it, you really don't know. Okay, right, you just know an overview that fine, this job is available at this location and you can apply through this interface. Similarly, in Java you have got interfaces. Interfaces describe what the project will do. Okay, what all commands or what all features will be there in the project. Okay, for example, a very simple thing. If I look at the documentation of Selenium, right, these are all the classes. Okay, whatever is there in italics is an interface. For example, like this is a very good one. If you look at mouse, Mouse is an interface mouse. It's got these features: click, context click, double click, mouse down, mouse down, mouse move, mouse up. So you have got interfaces which describe what mouse functionalities will look like. How they will be implemented, you really don't know. Okay, right. So I'll come over to it. I will describe this in depth. Okay, I need a continuous 1 hour for this. Okay, I'll